Hey, Olive, Arlo, and Frank. Happy birthday, Olive. Every year on July 19th, people are going to say to you, Happy birthday, because it'll be the 1 year anniversary of the day you were born. So every year you have a birthday, but really, today was your birthday. So when I say hi, Olive, Arlo, and Frank, I'm talking to three people who are actually on the planet. Yesterday, when I did one of these things, and I think actually this morning I did two of them, I said hi to you, and you were still inside your mom, but now you're here. Welcome to the world, little girl. The world's challenging, but your parents have the right idea. They try to be the best parents that they can be. They're just getting started, but they've been doing the right thing so far. So you're in good hands. You'll drive me crazy, and your grandmother and I will spoil you somewhat, but it's what happens. That's life. I know that your mom drove grandma crazy from time to time. You won't be any different than your mom was. Although she'll tell you that she was, oh, I was a perfect kid, because all moms do that. All moms talk about what they did in retrospect, kind of gilded. Gilded means painted with gold. Not real gold, like gold paint. Anyway, I thought this was a fitting day to say happy birthday to me. Now, my birthday is August 7th. Your mom's due date, Olive, was originally August 7th. Oh, no, wait a minute. My birthday is August 5th. I misspoke. I should know my birthday, shouldn't I? Your original due date was August 7th, but you were born today. Things happened. You decided today was the day that you wanted to come into the world. So originally I was hoping you'd be born on my birthday. You won't. Back on my 65th birthday, I did something called 65 Truths for 65 years. And I made your parents listen to me read it off. I gave them each a copy of it. And there was some good information in there. So I could have done a couple of things. I could have done 70 different things, 70 truths for 70 years, because on August 5th, I'm going to be 70 years old. Or I could have just done 5 more, but I didn't even have a copy of the 65 things. I actually stole that idea from a coworker and friend, IRS Office of Appeals, a fellow named Louis Aratola. When he turned 65, he did the same thing, and I said, well, I'm going to steal that from you. So shout out to you, Louis. But I decided instead to do 7 principles for 70 years. So I'm only going to make you sit through 7 things, not 65 things. I'm sure your parents were yawning. Although they turned their heads, they didn't want me to see them do it. So before I get started in the 7, I want to talk about a couple big observations. And one of them is that people try to think through things, and they'll say like, oh, well, you're making emotional decisions and they suck. and I'm making rational decisions based on logic, and my decisions are correct. I noticed that for the most part in my life, the decisions I made with my heart were better than the decisions I made with my head. Maybe I just got lucky. Maybe I was a complete fool this whole time and I just lucked out. But right now, I have a beautiful family. I have a wonderful marriage. I live 2 blocks from the ocean. I get to go for a walk on the beach every morning. I'm selling my camper van. I'm buying a new van. I'm going to be able to come out and see you and Arlo. Hopefully, eventually, I'll be able to hook up with Frankie. I'm living the life. But I remember when I worked at the IRS, there were people that would get on the thrift savings plan call-in site, and they would call in and they would get this information. They put it on speakerphone so everybody in the office could hear it. And it would say, if you retire today, you'll get this much a month and this, that. That sucks, man. I didn't worry about any of that stuff. I tried to put money away. I was aggressive. So I put the minimum amount in the thrift savings plan because at at one point in time, well, when I first got to the IRS, I had 5 kids. I had my sons, Frank and Tom, and then Judy's kids, Alex, Becca, and Jim. Judy was working. I was working. We didn't have a lot of money to put into thrift savings plan, but I was very aggressive with the money. I put it into the most aggressive parts of the plan that I could, the stock plans. I tried to trade in and out of the market a little bit, take advantage of things. So I know a lot of people that put in the maximum amount and they didn't really have any more money than me at the end. So I found that making decisions with my heart was better than making decisions with my head and being aggressive. I'm not talking about aggressive with other people, just aggressive in your life, aggressive with your plans, reaching for your goals. So they're the big things. And now let me get into the 7 principles for 70 years. Principle number 1, Jesus Christ is Lord. Jesus Christ is God. You need him in your life to set you free. Whether you believe that or not doesn't matter. It is the truth. You don't want to die and find out later that I was right and you were wrong. Because eternity is a long, long time. And you don't want to spend eternity separated from Jesus. Not going to proselytize or anything like that, but take that to the bank. Jesus is Lord, he's God. You need him. You need to be born again. Number 2, and you're going to see through this, if you know me really well, you know some of these. People like Tom and Courtney, they probably know all of them. They've heard me say them before. But this is for you 3 kids. And your kids that come after you, and any others. That, Courtney may have other kids. Tom and Lucy said they're not having any more, but who knows? But rule number 2, not peace, 2. Rule number 2, don't be a dick. If you're a dick, bad things are going to happen to you. Play nice in the sandbox. Try to get along with people. Try to see other people's point of view. Try not to be a know-it-all. All those things are being a dick. Don't be a dick. If you're not a dick, people are going to like you. If you're a dick, they're not going to like you, and they're going to undermine you. The next one, rule number 3, put your own oxygen mask on first. You can't help anybody else unless you can help yourself first. It's the same principle. When you fly in an airplane, they tell you, like, if you're flying with a kid, your inclination is going to be, I'm going to put the oxygen mask on my kid, and then I'm going to take mine and put it on me. But they say don't do that, because every second that you don't have the oxygen, you're not going to be performing up to your maximum. So you could pass out, and then the kid can't get it on by themselves and they die. You need to put on your oxygen mask first. And I've seen this in so many instances. I don't want to talk about a lot of them, but one is, I used to say this to my son Frank all the time: be selfish. Take care of yourself first. Because he would say, "Oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to quit this time, and I'm going to do it for you, Dad." And I go, no, do it for you. If you do it for you, there's a chance you're going to do it. If you do it for me, you're not going to do it. It just doesn't happen. You're going to pass out before you put the oxygen mask on me. Put it on yourself first. Take care of you. I did a whole series of lectures on how to be free, and I talk about altruism. Don't be altruistic. People, they're altruistic, go, oh, I want to help everybody. I want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a nurse or, whatever, because I want to help people. Well, that's fine, but that's a secondary goal. Your main goal is, I want to make a living. I want to support my family. I want to give my children things that I didn't have. I want to better myself. And in the process of that, if you help other people, that's a good thing. But if your sole focus is on helping other people, trust me, you'll do anything to help them, even if it's unethical. And like, if you are busy dealing with your own problems, and this is a little, not segue, but to end it. If you're busy with your own problems, you're going to be far too busy to get involved with other people's problems. That's like icing on the cake. And also, before I go on to the next one, be selfish with your time. Just one example. But there's many. I could talk about work. Get your work done. Don't let people steal your time. Put your oxygen mask on. Be selfish. Take care of your job before you start to help other people do things. Get your heart rate up to 65% of MHR, maximum heart rate, for 20 to 30 minutes a day, because it'll make you a better person. You will think more clearly. You will um, burn fat. You probably won't get diabetes. All these kind of things that happen from a sedentary lifestyle. Sedentary lifestyle, a lot of times, is caused by you getting involved with other people's stuff and not taking care of your own business. Don't give that time away. Think about a boss that I had that said, yeah, I schedule my workout every day. And she was overweight. Not by a lot, but I could tell that she wasn't hitting the goals that she wanted to hit. And she said, I schedule them, but then somebody always calls and interrupts right before I'm going out. And so I haven't been able to work out in a while. Well, be selfish. Don't give that time away to anybody. If you have a boss, the boss says, I need to be able to get in touch with you. Well, you need to figure out a way to tell them, I need this time. You want me to keep working at this high level? I need this time to myself. So all these things, be selfish. Put your own oxygen mask on first and then help other people. Number 4, don't discriminate against somebody based on something that they can't change. What am I talking about? Girls are born girls. Boys are born boys. Don't discriminate against somebody because of the sex that they are. Some people are born with dark skin. Some people are born with light skin. Don't discriminate against them. You can't change that. Like the Bible says, the leopard can't change its spots. You're born as you are. So don't discriminate against somebody based on that. Now, who can you discriminate against? Assholes. Assholes don't have to be assholes. They choose to do the things they do to cause you, as they walk away, to go, that guy's a real asshole. Discriminate against them. I highly recommend that you do that because we need to eliminate bad behavior. Number 5, Occam's razor. Occam's razor says that the simplest solution to a problem is probably the best solution to the problem. I could do a 5-hour lecture on this, but I'm not going to. Occam's razor, it solves my problem with my camper van. I have a complicated camper van now. I need a simple camper van. I'm selling the complicated one. I'm going to buy a simple one. I'm going to solve it that way. Cooking. If you're trying to cook, and if you have all day and you love to cook, well, make some exotic dishes. But if you need to work and take care of your family, whatever, do a second job, take care of your body, do exercise, all this kind of stuff. Don't make complicated dishes. Make simple things that are healthy. With me, like, I made beer for years. I can buy beer that's better than what I could make, and it's cheaper to buy it. I made bread for years, and I kind of like making beer. I love making bread, but when you make bread, it doesn't last as long. It gets stale within a day. So they put crap in it, and it's crap that they put in it. When you buy it at Publix, it's really good, but it's got crap in it to keep it from getting hard. Well, I'm not going to put crap in it, but when I make it, it's just so much trouble. So I don't bake as much as I do anymore. Um, Everything, exercising, Occam's razor, the simplest solution. Like I wrote a book called Run for Your Life. The reason that I chose running as an exercise to save your life, to keep you burning that fuel so that you could eat stuff that you want to eat and drink stuff that you want to drink and do stuff that you want to do and live a healthy, productive life, is because you don't need a lot of equipment. You can put the running shoes on and head out your front door and just run in your neighborhood. you don't you don't have to like say you take up rowing and you have to go get the boat and go down to the lake and put the boat in the lake and go rowing. Or if you're in those one of those sculls and you're on a team of 8, you got to wait for 7 other people to go, and then you're working out. That's Make it simple. Occam's razor. Um, Giving speeches, doing these videos. I could spend a lot of time on these videos, making them real quality. I could wait till my voice is perfect. I could do them over and over and over until I get everything perfect. But I'm talking to you, my grandchildren. If I'm talking to you in person, I'm going to make mistakes. So I make mistakes on these. So I can make it really complicated. But then you'd have like some disc jockey sounding grandfather, like, hey, King Jude. Um, that ain't happening. And living life, live a simple life. Be simple. Have simple pleasures, and you'll do well. Number 6, life is a pendulum. It swings back and forth and back and forth. Don't ignore it, but don't be obsessed with it. I'll give you one big example. I was watching a documentary on the history of Russia, and and it was like the complete history of Russia from the time that area near Moscow was settled down through the 21st century. And they fought the same people over and over and over again. Want to guess who those people were? Afghanistan. Oh, in the 1980s, they fought in Afghanistan. They fought against bin Laden. We actually supported bin Laden. We gave him weapons. Who else did they fight? Ukraine. Over and over and over again. They've been contesting the same land with the same people for a couple thousand years. It doesn't get any better. The pendulum just swings back and forth. Ukraine gains, Russia gains, Ukraine gains. But if we get involved in Afghanistan, if we get involved in Ukraine and Many other places in the world, their pendulum keeps swinging back and forth, but we don't have a pendulum. We just lose. We lose blood and treasure. That was number 6. Number 7, the last one. Do something with your fingers. Journal. Keep a commonplace book. Sketch. Buy a sketchbook if you're into being artsy fartsy, like sketch stuff. Doodle. People like John F. Kennedy doodled. There's museums that you can go into and see John F. Kennedy's doodles. Do it every day, especially in the morning, to get your creative juices flowing. But don't just do that. I did a whole lecture on how to keep a commonplace book, and it's just a place to write down ideas. I highly recommend it. If you haven't watched it before, you go back and watch it. And if you have watched it, that you refresh your memory. But it's great to keep a commonplace book for ideas, whatever you want to keep. You can write anything in there. Use it for something, whatever it is. Even your doodles. You doodle while you're in a meeting to help your creative juices flow. Next to your doodles, you're going to have notes that you put down, and they act like a mind map, and they'll help you connect ideas. Journal. Usually you journal at the end of the day, but the rest of them you do in the beginning of the day. Get your creative juices flowing. Use things like that to improve your life, like advance your career. Or for me, it was to start to tell my story, and now I'm telling it. And in closing, I want to say, move your life forward and dream and go for your dreams every day, because nobody's promised tomorrow. Happy birthday to me. Happy 70th birthday to me. I love you guys. Welcome again to the world, Olive. Peace out.